Hey fight fans, Chael Sonnen here with something special. Mudwater. It's not your average morning kickstart. It's a balanced blend designed to boost focus and energy without the crash. Mudwater was designed to reduce coffee dependence by offering a more balanced approach to boosting focus and wakefulness. Mudwater is 100% USDA certified organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan. It's even kosher. No sugars, no sweeteners, just pure natural ingredients. Their OG blend is like hot chocolate with a kick. Cacao, chai, lion's mane for focus, cordyceps for energy, and chaga plus reishi for your immune system. It is packed with adaptogens and antioxidants. Preparing Mudwater is a breeze. Just take a scoop and mix it with water. You can even get creative with CBD, honey, creamer. My favorite part about Mudwater is how it clears my brain fog and leaves me feeling sharp every morning. No more grogginess. For a limited time, our listeners get up to 43% off their order, free shipping, and free rechargeable frother when you use our exclusive link. Head to mudwater.com/Chael and grab your starter kit. Start your new morning ritual today with Mudwater. Just click the link below. Dana and Conor. And I mean, this is kind of a saga that just isn't ending. Nobody's made much of it. Dana does not appear to be upset with Conor McGregor. And Conor doesn't appear to be upset with Dana. And what I mean by that, they haven't said as much. They haven't even alluded to that. But they are on drastically different pages publicly. So you got to make sure that you understand this, okay? When I say that Dana and Conor haven't come at each other, neither one has blamed the other one. Everything seems to be understood and going smooth. But the information that they both give us is drastically different. Generally in a situation like that, that means you rely on the information that Dana gave you, and what the other guy is doing, whoever it might be, in this case Conor, what he is doing is marketing. He's telling a story, he's marketing, he's having fun. But when he's saying left and this guy's saying right, you guys are drastically apart, but there's no fight. There's no argument. Generally, what that would mean, Dana's giving you accurate info, and the other guy, McGregor in this case, is having fun. But I'm not convinced that that's what's going on here either. Like, let's just back the tape up, okay? Conor's going to fight. Conor's going to fight. He puts this out. Every time he does it, people get excited, but it was really easy to understand that he wasn't because of our understanding of the procedures and the rules as it pertained to USADA at that time. Okay, I'm backing you up about 10 months. So UFC 300 starts to roll around, and it's a new testing company, but adhering to the opinion of USADA was already stated that that was going to be done, and that would exclude Conor McGregor from competing at 300, but it didn't stop the headlines. So then Conor McGregor decides, hey, I want to fight, and I'm going to do an international fight week. And he puts on a full court press. Like, the way that Conor went about and the way that Conor achieved getting that fight was great. Was great. You guys missed it. You missed what he did. You missed the manipulation. You missed the game that was at play there. And you know real easy if you win or lose, do you get the contract or not? He did. It was great. But when the fight ends up falling through, nobody seemed upset. Nobody seemed to, except us, the fans, right? We missed out on it. And the cover-up is always worse than the crime. I do not believe that Conor McGregor pulled out due to a toe injury. But I also don't believe that Conor McGregor had a toe injury. I have to share for you, this is Chael's opinion. I've never bought that story. And I never suspected anything. I never suspected anything until Conor McGregor took a picture of a toe and posted it on his social media. It was then and only then that I go, oh, we got a cover-up going on. Right? You would post your face in the picture. You would prove that it was your foot, was my thought. That's not an expert piece of evidence. I'm just sharing with you. It's really hard for me to believe that a guy who was broken in half, who had a compound fracture, who's going to get rushed to the hospital and rushed into surgery, but he was such a professional He calls Joe Rogan over to sit down and he finishes an interview because that was the job. It's hard for me to believe that he pulled out of a job a month early for a discolored pinky toe, which may or may not be broken and may or may not belong to him. I, moreover, had a larger issue with it because how did it happen? And that's where a lot of guys get jammed up, right? Like robbing the bank, there's all sorts of planning put into that. And it works a lot. They get the money. They've successfully robbed the bank. Now they've got to get out of the bank. And now they got to get out of town. Before the helicopters and the other cars were like, they put so much into robbing the bank, but they don't plan the getaway, is my point. So if Conor hurt his toe, how? And who was there? And what were you doing when you stubbed your toe? Did you roll it? Hit something? Did you kick and a guy blocked it? Who was that guy? Who was the guy? Because for a guy that has a bad leg and is coming off a compound fracture, the mere thought that you would be throwing that kick without the proper padding on is really tough for me to believe. So I'm just asking a question. And we've never been told. But it's relevant to the whole story. It's not relevant to Conor pulling out or why he pulled out or if he wants to keep his rehab private. Like, that isn't the point at all. The point is the UFC knows the actual reason. And whatever that reason is, it is disqualifying the UFC's belief that Conor is going to come back. And that's what this all boils down to. Like if a guy pulled out because of a stubbed toe, that guy's not coming back. Not because he's not saying he's not because he doesn't want to, not because he's unwilling or we can't get a contract done. I'm not booking him. I can't book a guy who can't work if he has a stubbed toe. I can't book a guy like that. And then if I'm armed with something that it is much more severe, there's a legal issue and or consequence that is going to prevent this person from flying to this country where the fight is being held, I now can't book him. I can't book him. If I'm not coming to that country, I literally can't book him if he can't extradite himself. And you start to run in to what is the real reason. And why are these guys on such different pages? Why is Conor talking about, Conor's very smart. He's very good. He's very good. And he's reproved that by getting the fight against Chandler on June 29th. And the way that he went about getting it, he's as sharp as ever. Sharp as ever. But there is something going on there where he says he's going to fight within 2 months. Well, there's no venue in 2 months. There's no open venue and or date in 2 months. And so he says, well, I'm going to fight by the end of the year. There is no open venue by the end of the year where we don't have a main event that has already been rumored. And we haven't had a single rumored main event that didn't come true. We heard it was going to be Morali and Marathas Spear. We heard it was going to be Izzy versus DDP in Perth. We heard it's going to be Jones and Michik at Madison Square. Like, there isn't a single one that hasn't come to fruition rumor-wise. There's no open dates. So, very, very big slide by Conor. Why did he say that? Why did he say he's going to fight in a couple of months when he knows the media has access to Dana? And he knows now that Dana is in a position as a CEO of a publicly traded company where the words that come out of his mouth are no longer whatever he wants. There is hard and fast rules about what can and cannot be stated if it can direct share price. So keeping information about your biggest star, I'm just saying, Conor knows that Dana's going to be asked. And that Dana, in a respected manner, is going to give information that is opposite what Conor gave. So, do you have a hustler? I'm talking about Conor right now. Do you have a hustler? That's how we started. He did a hustle on June 29th to get that fight. Do we have a hustler? Or do we have a guy that is losing his mind? Do we have a guy that is now separating himself from reality? And it's a very fair question for me. Like it's just a matter of time until that lifestyle gets you. It's a matter of time until you are not the person you used to be. That person is dead. And I don't know that it's that severe. I can just tell you what Conor has said, opposite information that we know from a legal standpoint to need to be true, is so vastly different. It's as though we're dealing, right? Are we dealing with somebody who has separated themselves from reality or has been separated from reality? Or are we dealing with that same hustler that we've always dealt with, and he's playing a different game? And to this point, he's always played it very, very well. I'm open. I'm open to it. What I'm not open to is the media going to Conor and getting one answer that is hot, going to Dana and getting a different answer that's cold, and then never calling them out. Never calling them out for doing drastically different statements. And it's the same interviewer. And it would just seem as though you would say, okay, well, that's interesting because he just told me. But they haven't done that yet. And we don't have a lot of journalists in this sport. We got a lot of cowards. We got cowards in the cage. We got cowards out of the cage that for obvious reasons just aren't going to ask those questions because they were happy to have access in the first place. So we may never know. But there's something happening. And between Conor saying he's going to fight this year and Dana saying he's not, there's not two thoughts there. He says this and he's not. There's your answer. He is not. So if he's not fighting this year and he didn't fight last year, I'm not positive he fought the year before, but I think that he did, and it was a compound fracture. Why are we pretending that he's ever going to fight again? Why are we pretending that? And if we are going to keep pretending that, who are we going to pretend it's going to be against?